Old Sargot, a city on the frontier of Vlandia, has been one of the most prosperous cities in the kingdom next to Fair Galland, the shining jewel of Vlandia. Weakened from wars on multiple fronts, the forces of the Aserai looked to take advantage of a severely diminished garrison in Sargot and spring a surprise attack with a small army that crosses the Strait of Charas during the autumn. Besieged, Calard rides out alone, looking to stop the fall of one of the most important cities in the kingdom. The noble knight of Bretonnia stares down the might of an army that spans nearly 300 men. At the last minute, Calard is joined by Durthard, king of Vlandia, also seeking to aid in the defense of the city on his own. Soon, more bannermen come to the aid of Sargot. And by the morning, before the siege outside of the walls of the city, Vlandia had amassed an army equal to their aggressors. Calard takes the field with strength, honor, dignity, and the eyes of a man who is beyond terrified. We come here to the 12th episode, where Calard of Garamont, and we have quite a battle ahead of us. It is a massive army, or not a massive necessarily, of 290 Azerians against 294 Vlandians. And this was a situation where I was trying to expand my army and trying to get some good levels. And I saw that Sargot was about to fall to Aserai. And you can even see here at the very bottom of this, the garrison of Sargot had 2 men left. So we arrived really at the nick of time to sally out and meet them on the field. And as we get a nice overview here of the map, we can see that we have 47 horse archers bearing down on the men of Vlandia and 227 infantry. So we have our work pretty cut out for ourselves. Looking at my own forces, I have 30 archers, 26 infantrymen, and 30 heavy cav, accompanied by an additional 44 heavy cavalry units. Now we also have an additional 156 infantrymen. So my men, in conjunction with them, with the support of the archers, should really help us push the day here. What my plan here is to put some pressure on the left flank with my cavalrymen initially. I truly do not feel that the cavalry are going to really be as advantageous in this horse archer fight. What we really want to do is crack open that infantry line. That infantry line is comprised primarily of Azerian recruits. If I take a look at this army here, we do have 17 master archers to deal with and a number of other archer units, it looks like, in the back portions, but I don't actually see them. It looks like they're all grouped into one, unfortunately. But if I look through, I see a lot of veteran infantrymen. I see a lot of pretty high-tier units in this force. So we're really going to have to rely on the weight of numbers. We have a very diminished force, 22 Vlandian recruits here. I have quite a bit of knights at 15, but there's a lot of low-tier infantry in this army. So what's really going to have to be, we're really going to take the day here, is putting a lot of pressure onto this right flank, shutting down those cavalry after we do a little harry into these horse archers, and then perhaps smash into the rear or the flank of the cavalry line when our line meet. Let's jump over here back to Calard. My men are coming in line with me. I already have my archers on advance to keep a good distance here. You can already see that we're taking some quick shots. And actually, I noticed that if I don't worry about couching my lance in these instances, it works out a little bit better for me. If I couch my lance, I maybe get a hit off, maybe not. But right now, I really want to add a lot of support here in my infantry. My infantry is about to smash into their front line. You can see that going on. I've got my cavalry now coming over onto this right flank with me, following me in suit. Clearly some axes being chucked my direction, which is just very primitive and very rude, I would say. Their line's kind of harrying back. Well, mine's keeping in tow with my army, which is good. I don't want my infantry units to get too far ahead. There it is. The big clash is what it looks like. Oh, took a heavy hit there from an axe.
Cavalry! Cavalry! Horsemen! After me!
Oof.
Close in!
Ugh.
See you in hell!
Oh! Oh! This is not going really well for Vlandia right now. Calard is on the ropes. Oof. Got my sword here, trying to help out. Stay with my archers, try and get as much cover as we can. We're really going to be pushed up against the wall. Might have to do a little bit of a tactical retreat, it looks like. We have lost all of my cavalry units and all my infantry units, but we do still have a very strong archer corps. Fortunately, taking a look at the losses, we've only killed 60 of their men, give or take. They've killed over 200, or just about 200 of ours. In my own party, I've lost 15 men. The majority of mine were infantry, with a good amount of knights and champions and squires and such. Well, Calard is no fool. He knows when to retreat. Men, retreat! I said. Be not courageous in the light of such overwhelming odds. Durthert has just fallen. Mameluke axeman took him down at the heels here. Calard must unfortunately quit the battlefield. Come back another day to hopefully take back Sargot from the clutches of the Aserai. As we jump back onto the map here, we can really see that that army barely took any losses by comparison to ours. I mean, everyone in my army is very beat up. We have a really bad situation. Almost all of my cavalry is very mangled, which is unfortunate, but, you know, we will come back from this. We always do. Calard always does. With both Sargot and Jacqueline besieged right now, we're actually in a very interesting position. And with the armies that are coming to aid, we can only see that Ekarin's army is defending Sargot. And they are probably en route, is what it looks like, with another one traveling to Charis to besiege. So hopefully to crack the Western Empire's hold on fair Charis here of the south. So getting away from these armies, we've just, in the nick of time, unfortunately get peace with Aserai. And I wish we had done it before we lost Sargot, but it looks like we will lose Sargot to the Aserai and not be able to take that back for some time whenever we decide to declare war. Now, you can declare war yourself if you really want to get a piece of land back. And I'm gonna quickly click through this one while I kind of do a little bit of exposition here. If you want to get a piece of land back, you can actually start an army and go about attacking a castle that you would like to see returned to, say, you know, Vlandia in this case. And we might do that. That might be one of the big things that we do, is try to take Sargot back and actually bring it in line here with Vlandia once more. Maybe that will be the city that I take as a Calard of Garamond. So going through some of the stuff that I was doing on my own was just pretty much running around, doing some killing and such. And really it's trying to get some weapons and such to sell to make money. Because right now we really do need a workshop and other things to make some passive income. We already shut down my wife's party to try and increase the amount of income we could make from our army in general, but it's still really not enough. We're really hemorrhaging a lot of money at 810. It's because we have a very elite army, which is nice, but I think at the same time, it's going to start to really hinder us because we're starting to kind of run uphill against a lot of enemies here. So just kind of follow this army, see where it leads us. It'll probably bring us right into Charis, where we can take part in a pretty glorious little siege here. And my army should repair itself a little bit. And if it doesn't, that's fine. A lot of it's wounded, and that means it won't suffer casualties during the siege, and I'm quite okay with that, to be totally honest. Making sure there's no good things around here. Okay, and there is two options here. I can wait here until a certain amount of time and then just join the siege for Charis and hopefully get some loot. But what I'm actually going to do is join this army. And what we'll do here is, don't have Durthert in this army, but we will become a vassal in this episode. If I take a look at my clan, We're quite close to tier 3, and once we reach tier 3, it'll be very easy to get a fief. Once we get a fief, that'll be very, very good, because we'll be able to really kind of expand our income and a lot of other great things. And in the meantime, too, I might actually make her my quartermaster, and she's with my party. Will increase the size of my party, which is quite nice. But do I even have any skill? I want to increase quartermaster for myself, so that's why I've kind of kept it with myself. But if fair Liena, my wife, as she is known, has better skills. She's got some great tactics. Some great tactics. So that's why I chose you, my lady. Smart. You're smarter than me. For Calard of Garamont. Oaf. Okay. So yeah, a lot of our army is still pretty beat up. And we'll see what happens as we push through this. Their garrison's pretty small by comparison here, only 140 men, and we have 614. So let's go ahead and fast forward this to the point that we actually get to the siege. Okay, so it looks like we are ready for a siege of Charis to retake the southern realm of Vlandia and see how this goes. So we think we still have, we have to get Ursong Castle after this to really complete the southern regions of Vlandia. So let's jump into the siege. Okay, here we are. And I love Vlandian castles. They look so awesome. You know, that very classical style of European castle. So we're going to go and auto-deploy, begin assault here. I don't have any fancy anything to do in this situation. We don't have any archery to use or any siege engines. So what we're really going to do, look at these glorious Vlandian vanguard. That is awesome. Now I have a pretty short sword as far as its reach, so it's going to be pretty good on the walls here. But I also can switch on over to our mace in really close combat, which was the point of that mace, was just to help out with these sieges in specific. Let's see what we can do here. We might use even this siege tower depending on how well it does getting up to the walls. What have I brought with me here? I brought Mertian, which is unfortunate for everyone, I think. But we've got a large presence of spearmen and swordsmen, a couple Palatine guards, sharpshooters, and hardened crossbowmen, which is nice. So at least we'll be doing some range kills. And the important thing about having your own... Ooh, Battanian hero is just wounded. Having your own men here means that you can increase the amount of loot you get. And we also have Vlandian champions, Vanguard, Knight, and Gallant, which I'm not as excited about. I don't like having cavalry really present in a siege fight, because I don't want to lose them. But we should be... Ooh, one hardened crossbowman down already. We'll see how this kind of progresses itself through the siege. Get closer and closer. I mean, that guy's standing next to a gigantic burning bush, which is somewhat biblical, but I feel like it's a bad idea, knowing how a majority of Vlandian armor is made of like thatch and linen, so it's ready to just go up like a tinderbox. We'll slowly kind of E forward here with this, and I'm going to get off my mountain a little bit. I just don't have a lot of athletics, so there's no reason for me to get stuck behind this shield wall, let alone this big, glorious wooden construction from Mordor, I mean from Bretonnia. Always really cool though to kind of run over here and see that my men are dead. To see, oh my gosh, to see the knight of Bretonnia, the rampant lion. You are in terrible cover. In fact, even, you know, Calard is no stranger to hardship. So he shall be a hard ship. Come, I will defend you. Okay, maybe not as well as I thought I would. Gotta catch the arrows. Gotta catch these arrows. Come, men. Okay. This was all unintended. Hey, look at this. Look, it's a people mover. I love it. Alright, now we'll see how the AI decides to deal with this. We already have the battering ram at the gates. I suppose we're mounting this. Yeah, everyone? Everyone getting up? Just me? Okay. This is a terrifying set of situations, but I suppose I'm not okay with this. No? Just one ladder, huh? Oh, okay. We might have to go back down the ladder. We'll see how it goes. It's already looking terrible. It's already looking terrible. Getting a little drop in frames per second. I apologize for that, guys. Oh! And he's fallen off. The best defense is the defense of height. What, a mallet? Whoa! It's a mallet to a gunfight, really? And again, we're getting some pretty big FPS drops at certain angles, so I'm trying to not have that happen, so I apologize. Aha! Hired blade! Aha! Hired blade! Take the walls! Okay, maybe not the sword. Or the big old pike. Taking this tower here. Completely taking this tower. Pushing into the main keep, which is great. And Calard shall slowly go down this. Okay, you are just a man alone, huh? Aha! A club to the face. I mean, all said and done, we lost a very minimal amount of mana in this, and we were able to retake Charis. Now, hopefully we can use this momentum to push over to the castle to our east, thus securing pretty much all the territory that the Western Empire has taken from us. Now, I do apologize for any drop in frames per second. Again, like I said, hopefully this will not, it won't be too terrible to watch in the rendered and uploaded for you guys. But a victory! A victory jump! Because I cannot nay in this situation. Let us take a look at what we win from the great siege of Charis. Minimal amount of prisoners, that's okay. And a good amount of loot, quite nice. Now that should put us in a good position here. Taken Charis. Now unfortunately I am not a vassal. If I were a vassal and we had won that siege, there would be a chance. And if I was also pretty much... Oh, and Golthor the Miller. If I was also a... If I was tier 3, there's a chance that I would even receive this as my own territory, which would be quite nice. I think for the most part, there's 28,000 in reserve here. We can sell all of this. 1,400, it is. So all of this. I'm gonna go through real quick what I would do if I was playing in a single-player experience, not sharing it with you guys. What you should do, if you're really trying to work on your smithing, try and keep any of these saxes and melt them down. They're really good for raw materials. And I've got Mertian here, a fair Mertian the Knave, and I would pretty much use Mertian to create charcoal for me. Then I would use my main character to smelt down these saxes. Now we'll wait just a little bit. I want to kind of stick with the army as it undoubtedly heads east. The smithy here, really fast, we'll do that. But it's a great way to get a ton of both smithing parts and materials, because this is going to cover wrought iron to iron all the way up to steel, which is really, really nice. Any kind of dagger weapon is a good weapon to smelt down, but I just wanted to show you guys that if I was really focusing on doing this from a single player experience, I would focus a lot on any dagger, smelt it, and use wooden hammers or pitchforks because they give a lot of wood. Smelt those down to generate more wood that I would then use on Mertian to create more charcoal. Essentially, if you're making a smith, you want to have one character that is dedicated solely to making charcoal and smelting, while the other character is more meant for crafting additional higher rank or higher rank metal, like Thamaskene, Fine, or Steel, and then another one who's meant more for smelting. So let's take a look at trade real quick. I'll lock these and do it kind of solo, I think. Axes are locked, and the pitchforks are locked, and the wooden hammer is locked. I'll sell the rest. Gives me a minor amount of money, but it'll do. We will go to the tavern district. Nope. Guess we'll go to the keep. Donate these prisoners. That got us one more influence. Now, really, the best way to gain influence, if you really, really want a ton of it, is to try and focus on donating to garrisons. So if you want to recruit from Charis and its neighboring cities or towns, and then put those recruits immediately back into Charis, you'll get a lot of influence to help out. So there's a very minimal force here too, so it'll be nice to quickly take this one. Actually, I could even go as far as wait till my army replenishes a little bit, and I could try to take it myself, but it probably wouldn't go very well. Be a little bit higher than the amount that they've got. So let's go ahead and, in this case, we're going to just fast forward. Okay, now we'll just jump into this, and I'll be able to control my army and tell them to kind of hang and stay put. We don't want to lose a lot of men in this scenario, which is not as advantageous as the previous one. There weren't a lot of troops. Or there are a lot of troops in the other one to give us more items, hopefully, to sell. We'll go ahead and just jump into this and help out Ospear's army. Right.
Archers!
Actually, just
Archers!
go ahead and press all things and put my men behind cover over here.
Forward! Put forward! Move! Archers! Cavalry! Cavalry!
And with F6 turned off, they shouldn't get in too much trouble.
Move! Yeah!
This is pretty much just to prevent them from really getting killed in this scenario.
Archers!
And I told you to go to where I wanted you to go. Did you do nothing of the sort?
Foot forward! Infantry! For archers! Move! Horsemen! For cavalry! Move! Arrows! Archers! Bowmen! Forward!
I'm going to take the whole shebang.
Everyone!
And shield wall.
Form a shield wall!
Because they don't have any defensive buildings up there. And there go the rest of my men. Perfect. Now, we didn't build any siege equipment outside of that, that ram itself. So, it'll be quite interesting. There are some ladders over on this side we can use. It'll just be a matter of whether or not they want to march up with me. Calard cares not for your arrows and your bolts. He victory neighs in your general direction. Tritty trot trot away from this. Calard loves the fair cool breeze of the swampy water upon his face. Be nice if those Pavis? Crossbowmen were to turn their backs. I think, honestly, we've already done so much damage to the people on the walls over there, we're not actually receiving a ton back. Just a small amount of guys over here. Aha! What is this? You men are fellow gentlemen, you come to join me, I see. Calard, one man alone, raises the gigantic ladders for his men. Not a man of super strength, but a strong man nonetheless. How dare you. Shall casually wait on this ladder. Maybe not. Maybe go back down. Maybe not get too crazy. Last time we got crazy, we got almost cut down. Aha! I will get some accompaniment on these walls here. Come, men, come! March up the ladders! Okay, maybe just one, huh? Okay, well, someone's gonna have to use this other one. We just have a very minimal defense up there, and it sounds like the wall was just brought down. Use our lance here to kind of scale the wall where there are no defenders, just as I planned. Perfect. Oh, man. This is a great situation where this mace really is going to come into a great use right now. Stab with a mace. Calard cares not for your mattocks and hammers. Oh my! Oh! Come back, come back, come back. But maybe not that. You tried to juke me, I see. The walls! We must take them! I will bash you off of this wall. Good job, man. I'll do all the heavy lifting and then you just stab him in the back 9 times. I appreciate your efforts. I gotta say, these are actually some pretty scarily tall walls. Calard gets a light vertigo whilst stepping near the nearest to the edge. See if this keep has anything. This tower, I guess it were. Aha! No men lost on my part, which is really what I wanted out of that. I didn't want to, like I said, get involved in that smaller fight and just really lose it. You turned up just in time, Calard. Shall not forget your help. Of course you won't, Ospear. But I would like that helmet if you... Oh, no, okay. Well, I'll get back to what I was doing. Very minimal amount of stuff grabbed there. Perfect. Now let's find Durthert. He is responsible for making us a vassal, and us becoming a vassal is going to be pretty important here. Let's jump right into the castle. Dungeon. Very minimal anyway. Ilias Castle. That. So far to the north. He'll probably move by then, but it's good to know that by taking a look at our diplomacy, the war with Sturgia is over. The war with the Aserai is unfortunately over, and we have lost a city from it. But this does kind of curve the strength of Vlandia in a pretty wild way. The Northern Empire is still quite strong. The Western Empire is just a little bit stronger than us. But this is going to hopefully bring back that power curve a little bit as, oh wow, Titania just took Sargot and Talavel Castle. So what was once Vlandia is then Aserai and is now disgusting Britannia. So this is a pretty interesting change of events here. Varcheg is under siege, no doubt, by the Northern Empire, which has taken the majority of the Sturgian holdings that Vlandia acquired in its northern campaign. Unfortunately, we can't see exactly what's going on here. Appis's army, yeah, Mina's army. So that's the Northern Empire there. So I believe so, right? Mina. Oh, Western Empire is about to take Varcheg. So hopefully we can muster up some more men and take that portion, or at least even push into the southern portions of the Western Empire. Northern Empire, again, though, like I said, they've taken a lot of these lands. So let's see what we can do about hopefully getting a vassalage going, and then a fief as quickly as possible to start earning, again, a lot more passive income. We need workshops, need some more stuff to hopefully balance out the extreme cost of our daily party wages. So let's move north up towards Durthert. Alright, I'm taking a look at a quick quest here. Influential and regular. And great there, so let's pass. Eligible. Help out. Berescand. A quick landlord needing access here. Sickard. Seems that he needs some access to Marin, or Marin, of whatever the name of it is, he'll find out. Oh, sorry, I don't think I know you. My name is Calard, sir. You sound like you have a cleft palate.
I'm Sickard. I don't land around here. I speak with many of the people of this village. I know your name. It's good to meet you.
Well, I heard you had some, need some extreme dental work. How can I help you out? Well, what seems to be the problem here? And as Sickard goes through telling him the issue with his nascent property, he can't quite access it. And he offers Calard a paltry sum of 559 dinar to aid the situation.
I doubt they'd stand up long to you.
I can get you your herdsman to the pasture, so I will do this for you. Jumping over here to Marin. Villagers. And with a quick exchange here from the Vlandian peasants back and forth, Calard reminds them that you have to take your grievances to your lord or to whoever sold the land. Lost as a buyer has rights, and you clear out. This doesn't make the people of Marin happy with Calard, but he is able to stymie a large conflict that would have otherwise drained both villages. Ooh, a Vlandian courser. I don't even think I can use yet. And I wouldn't be extremely opposed to selling it. My wife has a lovely piece of white tabard over mail, which I've only ever seen for sale once, and it was in this campaign right here. So Oxhall has a ironmonger, allowing it to produce nice top-tier pieces of armor here. So you can see that we have a white tabard over mail being produced in this town because of that ironmonger. Up here, definitely do need to try and bring back our income a little bit. It's pretty abysmal. So, up and good. Take a look at our smithy real fast. You can make a lot of money doing some smith stuff. You need to be careful because you can accidentally like make something that trades for 7 million, and I'm not even using hyperbole there, and it can really kind of break your gaming experience. But if you make, like, say, a two-handed sword or a one-handed sword using some of the parts you've unlocked, that isn't too insane in price, it's a really great way to kind of quickly get a little bit of money. So if I can make something nice and big here. The polearms tend to typically sell for a lot more than anything else. Two-handed weapons in general, I see making more money than other ones. Sword, we just have that blade. One-handed sword, I think we've got a little bit more. This might actually produce something nice for us. Tier 2. And it seems to be that the longer the weapon, or at least it seems to be dictated by the cut damage, the higher both the price and the experience you get off of it. So to kind of simplify that, I'll show real quick. And you can see a lot of this when I stream it in my Battanian campaign, as a lot of you guys have actually helped me out in this process. So we'll make this real fast. Oh, gotta spend some time to rest with Mertian. Oh, no, Mertian can do it. There we go. And it's not the highest difficulty item. Increasing the size increases that difficulty. Usually on the blade itself, though. But, and the relevant tier. I don't think we've got anything. I will make vassal. So not the best roll on this, unfortunately. But we can also then rename this to Mertian's Folly. I can't remember if Folly's got 2 L's or 1. I'm about to find out. We'll then go to the... I got a lot of really good blade or parts unlocked with that, and it sells pretty meager, pretty meager there. So in all honesty, I would probably go back to the smith and smelt that down. We'll just do it. So it's not my inventory anymore. You'll get the majority of your parts back, minus 1 or 2 of the topmost part. But that's just a quick little breakdown of doing some blacksmithing. And it's a really great way to make a lot of money fast if you just don't abuse the system, which is more than likely going to be patched in the more recent patches coming out here. So let's take some time and get Calard's army kind of fixed up a little bit and get in touch with Durthert to allow him to become a vassal of Vlandia. Since we're coming up near the end of the episode, before we run north to Durthert, I figure why not do a tournament? See what we can do here. It's for the Vlandian Courser, so that's a pretty good little snake right there. We're 5 away from getting the necessary riding for it, so this should be a good little grab. Mertian! Oh my. You've gotten better at riding, Mertian. But not good enough! I didn't attack my own person, don't worry. The champion of Vlandia. I am the champion of Vlandia. Well done, Athelfled. Have you ever had a guest starring in the show Last Kingdom? No? Alright, let's move on. Oh, I don't think I've ever had this situation. Oh, wow. That wasn't too awesome. Oh wow, again. Not going too well. Let's go for the guy on the horse. Oh. I've noticed there's a really handy way you can do couching your lance. You got to be kind of swift with it, but we'll see what we can do. Oh, almost there, almost there. Good. Well, if you kind of hold your right shield up, your horse will still gain speed. Your couch lance is not based off of your right shield, your shield is up or not. So if you go for max speed with your horse, keep your shield up, and then right when you're about to hit the enemy, you can couch your lance and still connect and do a ton of damage. At least you'll be protected. Oh! And in the face! Oh no! The horse, not me! Haha! Athelflaed, that's what you get for having a guest appearance in the Last Kingdom! Alright, Mertian, it is down to you and me. Let us see who rides better today. It's me, Mertian. It's always me. It was going to be me from the start. Victory nay! So, a solid come up on that one. Getting us a little bit of money. We've won a lot of tournaments now, so it's going to start becoming less and less advantageous to do tournaments. So we will... So close. We've got 5 more levels to get. Then we'll have enough to get the horse. That Vlandian Corsair, I mean, to ride it. Let's go ahead with Horse Killer, which just sounds absolutely miserable for a fellow Knight of Bretonnia. But we're going to just stick with that. So let me actually just, rather than fast forwarding this time, I'm going to skip ahead all the way to me meeting up with Durthard, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of me moving back and forth. So let's just jump over to me meeting Durthard.
Calard, it's been a while. Do you like my mustache? I've been growing it out. Got a new helmet too. So then, what is it?
There is something I would like to discuss. I'm kind of reconsidering it at this point.
Well, you've piqued my interest, my friend. What do you have to say?
My lord, I wish to be more than a mercenary. Is there any way I could pledge myself as a vassal of Vlandia?
You are known as a brave warrior and a fine leader of men, Calard. I shall be pleased to accept your sword into my service. If you are ready to swear homage to me.
I'm ready, Durthard.
Good. Then repeat the words of the oath with me. I swear homage to you as lawful king of the Vlandians.
Oh man. I swear homage to you as lawful king of the Vlandians, and with a voice that harkens back to an 80s metal music video.
I will be your loyal man as long as my breath remains.
I will be your loyal man as long as I think my breath remains.
And I will be at your side to fight your enemies should you need my sword.
And I will be at your side to fight your enemies should you maintain in a battle with at least somewhat of above odds, with a somewhat decent force, should you need my sword.
And I shall defend your rights and the rights of your legitimate heirs.
And I shall defend your rights and the rights of your legitimate heirs.
Very well! You have given me your solemn oath, Calard. May you uphold it always with proper courage and devotion. Let it be known that from this day forward, you are my sworn man and vassal. I give you my protection and grant you the right to bear arms in my name. And I pledge that I shall not deprive you of your life, liberty, or properties, except by the lawful judgment of your peers, or by the law and custom of the land.
I thank you, my lord. Let us get out of this frigid environment, for you look cold, and that beard of yours is starting to dry out.
All right, Calard. Well, is there anything else?
No, sir. I must leave for now. So now we are a vassal of Vlandia. And we're pretty close to clan tier 3. And once we hit clan tier 3, that's really going to help us out again with getting our fief. It will be pretty automatic for the most part. But let's take a look at our wars, because while heading up here, we had a little diplomacy thing go down, and we are no longer at war with the Northern Empire. Now, that did cost us quite a bit, because I'll show you the map now. As we can see, we have no more holdings in former Sturgia. So we can see that we have still have Revel, but for the most part, we're still at war with the Western Empire, and we have lost and taken Charis. So this episode has been pretty wild. We have had our foray with the Aserai in the very beginning, and then we had a conflict with the Western Empire that then resulted in us taking Charis and then Usank. Now, I don't know if we have another army. We're traveling to the castle to defend, and we're trying to take Legida. So we'll see what happens in the next episode here. Things have gotten pretty vicious. Now, in the middle of filming this episode, I did get the hotfix that did make it so that the wars kind of cool down a little bit. So that should kind of create a little bit of stability for the remainder of our narrative campaign here with Calard. And again, I do want to finish this one up quickly. Every time I have the ambition to knock out a lot of episodes at once, I get sidetracked by some sort of big release or some other kind of patch note or something of the sort. Now, with this video coming out today, we still don't have anything with a 1.4.1 live branch or any of the next beta branch, so hopefully we'll be able to cover that in the next couple days. And you are continuing to enjoy the journey of Calard of Garamond as he journeys through this very tumultuous time in Vlandia. Next episode, we're really going to have to focus on our income, as that is really a massive hemorrhage for us right now. At 789 per turn, we're really losing a lot because we have a very elite army, which is, and a very large elite army too, at 69 nice soldiers that are really kind of draining our income level. So really what we're going to have to do is try and probably do some trading, and I might do that off camera and come in right at the end of it so you can see the result of us getting some fish and then selling them actually down to Epicrotia or Cianon and other places like that that actually will have a larger demand for fish. So we'll hopefully be able to drive up our income by taking advantage of the very cheap fish in these areas over here and doing some other trading as we move down into the Vlandia once again, and hopefully recapture Charis before that that diplomacy ends. If I take a look over here, yeah, I was looking to see if we had an offer for peace, and now that we are not on a war with all these massive empires like the Northern Empire, which had a lot amount of strength, and the Aserai, which was pretty even with us, we should now be able to come back very heavy in the strength field and be able to combat the Western Empire and get some good fights here. If anything, maybe even take Varcheg in response to them taking Charis once more. So we shall see in episode 13, lucky number 13 for Calard of Garamond. As always, guys, thank you so much for joining me here as we journey through Calard's grand tale in Vlandia. And let me know what you want for the next narrative campaign. My big ambition is to do a Sturgia one with kind of a Kislev theme for our main character, and maybe he is a mercenary that is strictly based off of Sturgia and doing nothing but mercenary things with Sturgia, and a little bit more cutthroat, using maybe a light bit of a roguery build. Even though roguery doesn't have a huge connotation for the game, we can still build it from an RP standpoint, and does a lot of executing of other characters, which is something I have personally never done in the game. So let me know if that is something that interests you for a possible next narrative campaign, or some suggestions that you would like to see. I've taken a lot of notes from Surreal Beliefs. If you've not seen his channel, he's doing a lot of really amazing narrative campaigns wherein he's doing an Azerian merchant prince. He's done a massive empire campaign where he united the entire empire, and he did a really cool Sturgia campaign as well. So I'd love to get your impressions on what you'd like to see for the future. Would you like to see another Khazate campaign? We're doing a Britannia one on our stream, so don't forget to check out our streams all weekend, in which case we'll probably be doing a giveaway for Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord coming in the next, so today is the 3rd of June, so probably around the 5th, 6th, and 7th of June we'll do some sort of giveaway. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that kind of fun action, but have a good one and take care.